Welcome to my no slowdown run of GG Aleste 3 from the M2 Aleste Collection on the Nintendo Switch. It is so nice that this game allows you to not only save your own replays, but also view anybody else's replay from the leaderboards. Anyway, let's look at my run. I actually did this run in April, so it's already a while ago. And the reason I'm making a commentary about it is because I want to show some strategies that are quite easy to implement to make the second half of the game a lot easier. So when I started playing this game and started getting further into the game, I was struggling quite a bit for two reasons. The biggest one being that the bullet visibility is not that great in this game. So especially the kind of like the light blue bullets that have also a bit of like red inside of them. I find them very hard to spot, specifically as a lot of weapons, what they fire is kind of in the same color palette. So a lot of times I just miss that these bullets are there, and then I would just get clipped by a random one. And especially like the last two levels, they can be quite hectic with the amount of like enemies on screen that shoot these types of bullets. Yeah, it was like, it became a bit frustrating. So after that I started looking at the other weapons that are available. Because it seems that for most people, just based on reviews and videos I've seen of this game, most people gravitate towards the chaser weapon, the C weapon, and the laser weapon, the R weapon, because they are just like the most fun to use, I guess, and also feel kind of powerful and just kind of cool to use. Oh yeah, this is the stage 1 boss, which is like a complete joke. You just stay in the middle, you barely have to move, and he's gone before you know it. Anyway, the chaser weapon and the laser weapon, yeah, they're really cool, but they do not cancel a lot of bullet types. And so I started experimenting with the other weapons. And then the A weapon, or the all range that I'm currently using, actually cancels out the most amount of like bullet types, including the small light blue ones that I'm struggling with visibility wise. So from that point on, I started doing runs with this weapon, where it must be said it's kind of awkward to use initially. Because you shoot in the opposite direction that you move. I mean, your main shot still fires straight ahead, but your like special weapon will shoot in the opposite direction that you're moving. Unless if you're standing still, then it shoots also forward. But that just feels really weird. And but yeah, I mean, once you get used to it, it's like a super useful weapon because you can just, a lot of times you can just sit in a fixed spot, or almost in a fixed spot, and just keep firing forward. And all these small bullets would just be cancelled. So yeah, I don't need to really think about them as much anymore. This stage, by the way, is a kind of a throwback to like GG Aleste 1, where I did the same background is used there as well. Note that I'm playing with slowdown disabled, because this game actually targets, it's a brand new game. Well, I mean brand new, it was developed a few years ago, but it's a new game that targets the Sega Game Gear handheld. and you can actually buy it on a Game Gear card. But if you play the modern consoles, you have the ability to like disable all the slowdown, because the Game Gear is obviously not a very powerful system. But it's still crazy that this game runs at all on the Game Gear. So yeah, I've disabled slowdown. It makes the game more difficult, but also a lot more fun, because the slowdown is a bit too much in my opinion. I do feel that GG Aleste 3 is the best game of the GG Aleste series. I mean, 1 is kind of okay, it's like a starting point into the series. It's fun to play through like once or twice, but it really has no staying power, because it's like, it's way too easy and thus gets boring. Part 2 is actually a lot more intense, because it feels like you're way more zoomed in, so it gets kind of claustrophobic. But as soon as you find out you just need to use the napalm weapon in that game at all times, then it also becomes kind of easy. But still, it, like 2 is really impressive. But this game overall is just, yeah, it's just a lot of fun to play. Yeah, second boss, nothing very interesting to say about it. It will always do this attack first time to the right corner, second time to the left corner. After it comes out of the attack, yeah, you shouldn't be exactly in front of it, because then it's highly likely it will do some green laser attack, which is annoying, because you need to dodge it, you can't shoot the boss anymore, and it will just end up taking way longer to defeat him. And I can't really bother to remember after it moved to the left corner, then the right corner, what will be the third corner it will move to. Yeah, this stage, especially the start with like water beneath us, if you're using the napalm weapon, which is like the F weapon in GG Aleste 3, yeah, it's not very useful, because the flames do not move very far through the water. So it's kind of like gimped in that sense. Things are getting a bit more intense now in this section. It's actually quite a fun section to play. But again, I'm sticking to this all-range weapon. Yeah, so the big P item powers up your special weapon. The small P icons power up your main shot. And they also can be used to get a shield if you have 20 of them, and the shield will protect you from one hit. Thing coming up is a section. This section that's coming up in a bit is where there's some kind of train-like things on these 4 tracks that shoot from the top to the bottom and then back up again, and they also fire at you. I always find that kind of tricky section until I started using this weapon, and then I place my ship exactly in the middle of the screen, and then just shoot and do not move. These little train segments can't hit you, and the bullets that they shoot, you will just cancel it with the all-range weapon. So just like that section is done. Again here, I just because I have the all-range weapon, I don't need to really pay attention to the small bullets. I just focus on the bigger exploding barrels and just try to avoid those. Yeah, now I pick up a laser, but honestly, I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, it's easier to get through this tank section and destroy them all. And there are a few of those in a row, and I think if you destroy everything, you'll get a bonus. But honestly, like, this is one of the few sections where the napalm is actually best to take out these tanks. But I guess I really wanted this bonus. It's also worth pointing out, whenever you pick up anything, you get a brief period of invulnerability that you can definitely use to your advantage, but for some reason I always kind of forget about it. So sometimes I'm saved because I just happen to pick something up. Yeah, this boss is quite easy. You can somewhat bait these mines to explode, but just try to stay in the middle as much as possible, and as soon as the target lasers come, you just move out of the way. It will shoot 4 times, left, right, easy to dodge, and you just repeat this. Which weapon you use here doesn't really matter much, to be honest. And it's also kind of interesting to like rewatch a run of your, you know, that you did yourself after a bit of time, because it just shows some interesting behaviors that that you have while playing a game. For me, what's really striking is that I still try to go for the red power-ups, even though I don't need them anymore. My main shot is at level max, I have a shield, I don't need those red power-ups anymore. So the only reason to pick them up is I guess score, or because they give you a tiny bit of invulnerability. It's the same with like if you have a weapon, so I have the napalm weapon now. If I were to pick up another F item, then it will give me 1,000 points. But honestly, 1,000 points is not a lot, but I do see myself trying to collect the same weapon again just to get those 1,000 points. But, you know, that might actually bring me into like a much more dangerous position, and it's just totally not worth the risk. So I would say this is one of the more difficult parts. There is no easy way to get through this. Just know that these trains fire straight down, and they always go from the right to the left. And then they also shoot some kind of like bomb thing that goes roughly towards your location and then explodes and leaves a lingering explosion. So just now I got really lucky because, you know, I just picked up the an item at the same time I went through one of those lingering explosions. But I think this part, I usually get hit once here, but this time I got kind of lucky, I guess. But it's just an area you just have to practice to get somewhat comfortable with. So I guess I'm still using this laser weapon to try and get this bonus here, which I do. So now I expect that I go back to the A weapon, but I'm not picking it up. Okay, I guess we're gonna stick with the laser. Maybe I thought that the boss was already approaching, because then I definitely do not want the A weapon. But here I definitely do want the A weapon, because all these like, for me, hard to see bullets. Yeah, it's just not great. So I think I'm just like waiting around now, trying to get a, trying to be able to like change my weapon, but it's not really happening. And now there was a chance for me to pick up the A weapon, but I was just too busy dodging like the stuff that was coming towards me. And now I don't pick up the A because the boss is now almost upon us. Again, I flew right into that power-up that I don't need, but that power-up gives you 5k points if you collect it when you don't need it. But there was also trailing bullets, so I only survived because that power-up gave me invulnerability. This is actually one of the hardest bosses. Not the first phase, which is easy, but it shoots like this green stuff that sticks to you, and then you won't be able to use your special weapon. And if you get hit by the blue stuff, your speed becomes extremely low. And so this part is really dangerous. Like if you get hit by the blue stuff, what you're inclined to do is just hold left or right to try and move fast enough. But as soon as the blue stuff wears out, you will immediately like go full speed and run into some bullets. So instead what you're continuously doing there is like continuously tap moving really quickly. So I tend to that section just try and dodge the blue stuff as much as possible. Yeah, I think that the boss represents like the first difficulty spike. And then we go into this stage, which is also significantly more difficult than the previous stages. Not the initial part, which is quite easy, but the part that's coming up. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I picked up this weapon and why I'm still hanging on to it. Maybe it's because of an upcoming bonus. So if you now shoot all the falling enemies and destroy them, you'll get a bonus. Maybe that's easier with this weapon, but... Okay, so now you're kinda stuck on this rocket. So if you move to the left or right, you're not actually moved to the left or right, you're actually circling around the rocket. So you're continuously being pulled to the center of the screen. And you have these enemy planes that come at you from all kinds of angles. And so they're really hard to dodge. And this section you really want to have the chaser. So you can just focus on dodging and while knowing that like all your shots will hit something. Yeah, also when you shoot down an enemy, they will fall like downwards. And if you hit them, you will take a hit. Okay, now I finally got the chaser. I have no shield, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, this section really takes some time to get used to the movement here. Because now it looks kind of simple, right? It's like just dodging some enemies, but because you can't really move to the left and the right in a normal sense, because you continuously pull to the center, this is really tricky. At least for me it is. Ah, that was a mistake. See, I went for those power-up items because I really want to get my shield back, and now I accidentally lose my chaser. Yeah, now that you have like 2 at a time, you're also more inclined to actually try and ram you from the side. I don't know why I didn't get a hit there, but whatever. Yeah, this section, yeah, I got hit here. Yeah, I die here, so that's 2 hits in a row. Usually I don't get hit by the homing balls, but by the regular shots that he does afterwards. Luckily, the next section is not too difficult. It always shoots like a slow and a fast stream of these things, and just like weave through them, and it's gone pretty quickly. Now this boss actually took me a lot of time to figure out, but once you do, it's actually one of the easiest bosses, I would say. Well, easiest when you exclude like the first 2 stages. So it sucks up all your power-ups, so you just have main shot. So this is the only tricky part here, and you just want to like misdirect these shots by moving like in an arch from the left to the right. Now he's gonna do this laser attack, but I never quite know if it's gonna go from the middle to the outside, from the outside to the inside. And so I always just position myself between 2 of his bits and just stay there and not even try to move and get a few shots in. Now this part is really like troublesome initially. You just need to remember that the purple stuff he shoots like straight ahead of him, but towards your vertical position. So if you're up in the screen, they will explode almost immediately, and if you're at the bottom of the screen, they will also travel to the bottom of the screen. And you can use that to really easily avoid all of it. Yeah, now I have the chaser, and at this point I don't want to have the chaser anymore. It is kind of unfortunate because I still have this weapon and now it's kind of tricky. You should always focus on taking out the guns to the sides as fast as possible. I don't know why I picked up that weapon. At this point I want to hold on to the laser because directly after this section there's a somewhat tricky enemy and the laser has very good damage, so I'd like to hold on to it to kill that enemy faster. But here just focus on the side turrets and then take out the ships that come towards you. Yeah, this enemy is took me a bit of practice to get used to this fight. But he always shoots like twice and then it shoots and moves towards you, towards the bottom of the screen. And then take out all the small enemies that spawn from its corpse to get the bonus. Yeah, these bigger enemies are super annoying. I really hate their movement. So after they're done shooting, they will move about the screen, but they will essentially try to go to your vertical position, but a bit higher. And if they're low in the screen, it's really annoying to dodge their shots, so you should always try to bait them into sticking to the top of the screen. Now from this point on, you essentially only want to have the A weapon. Because this is where like the amount of these annoying bullets will increase a lot. Like you see here, and with this weapon you can just kind of focus more on dodging the enemies and taking enemies out versus like keeping track of all these small bullets. I do try to prioritize the turrets. again here you can also really make use of the fact that picking up items gives you invulnerability if you're not using this specific weapon. I get a mini boss. Yeah, try to take out these turrets on the side as fast as possible. Whenever like the central thing starts glowing blue, it's about to shoot a laser that will track you. Then just move a bit to the side. Yeah, you can also try and time out this boss. If you really want to, well, I just lost my shield, but if you're really close to his shield, you can just kind of like keep dodging him and not shoot to be able to collect more power-up capsules. But yeah, I kind of messed up there by getting hit. Almost at the boss now. Again, the boss here is interesting. It's either, well, its last phase is either super simple or super annoying. And I would say the all-range weapon is not the best weapon to have in this fight, but I mean, it is what it is. At this point I just focus on where these blue things are spawning and trying to avoid them and not really paying attention if I'm actually hitting the boss or not. Yeah, so this is the annoying section where I will like move around this this circle that's a bit randomly. You can get lucky when it's like up at the top a lot, so you can easily shoot it. Or you can get unlucky where it just stays more into the bottom half of this circle. And then it gets really annoying. But overall, it's pretty easy boss. And now we're on to the last stage, and also by far the hardest stage. Especially the beginning, where you see these like, I know, big boats coming towards you. Yeah, if it's just one, it's pretty easy to deal with. But at some point, two will come at the same time, and that's really tricky to avoid. Yeah, it's not so great that I have this weapon. I mean, I can take them down faster now, but for the part that comes up now, it's just not too great to have this laser. So one is down, and for some reason I just run blindly into that laser, so I die. And now I die again. Like, when you get these free ships, it's actually really easy. You just kill the middle one, because they're just static on screen, they don't move around. And then you kill the right one, and you just leave the left one, or vice versa. But yeah, so that was a really poorly executed section. These enemies are really annoying because they come up from the bottom and they can kill you if you run into them. And then they will start shooting at some point. I'm never really a fan of enemies that spawn from the bottom and move upwards. But yeah, whatever you do, you know, keep the A weapon. So the next section, that starts right about now. I think can be considered like the most difficult part of the game. But if you have the A weapon and your weapon shot power is at least level 5, I mean, it's trivial. You just line up your ship the way I did, which means your main shot will take out these tanks before they start shooting homing bullets at you. And then the all-range secondary weapon just takes out all of these bullets for you. And then you essentially don't need to do anything. You just position yourself and hold the shot button. Now, of course, it's much cooler to like try and dodge all this stuff and like, you know, look very cool, which, you know, that is very much true. But if you want to get a clear and you're struggling, then I would definitely recommend this strategy. If I'm not using this strategy, what I would do is I would focus mostly on, say, like the right side of the screen and taking out all those turrets, and then essentially like weaving in and out, you know, to take down the tank, to take down the turrets on the right, take down the tank, etc. Yeah, not a stupid death, but... Yeah, this is also a bit of a tricky section because some turrets pop up underneath you or like right next to you, like these. And it's really easy to get sniped like that. And especially since I have like the wrong weapon, it's a lot more dangerous. And then these red things, just try not shoot them because they will just spawn a whole bunch of bullets. Yeah, now because I have the A weapon, I can't kill those floating, yeah, those bricks that move towards you at a high speed. The A weapon is not powerful enough to kill them fast enough. Plus my shot level is quite low at the moment. Well, yeah, so this next section, you have this enemy that you can shoot. If you destroy it, it will come back faster. And if you destroy that, it will come back faster. And it will slow down, it will speed up. But as far as I know, this is like a time-based section. So you're just stuck here for a certain amount of time. And if you don't shoot this enemy, it will not get faster, which means it will stay easy to dodge it. And you can just start collecting these power-ups. So you can just sit here and like upgrade your shot level. Like now it's back to level 6. Got a shield. You can like wait here to get like the correct weapon you would like to have. Which from this point on would be laser, I would say. Just... Oh yeah, that was a big mistake. But yeah, and this is an even bigger mistake. This is like the worst to go into like the last stretch. So these enemies, if you don't shoot them, they don't release this like this homing sphere that keeps trailing you and trying to hit you. So normally with the laser, I would not shoot at these and only shoot at the power-ups if I really wanted another power-up. But yeah, so that's another tip. Just don't shoot those enemies, and then that section is just a lot easier. Yeah, this part you just have to dodge these blue spheres. Yeah, with the laser, and if your shot level is sufficiently high, then it should go down pretty quickly. Now here's a bit of a memo section. Just memorize where these will spawn from, and you can just take them out easily. Now the funny thing is, I practiced like this lot. This is the last boss, by the way. I practiced this boss like a lot, and to me it's like super easy, this boss. Like no trouble whatsoever, and like it's you know, I can even like say 50% of the time no miss the final boss. But when you get here after a full run, it's like, you know, my nerves are like making me shake, and it's like I make all these stupid mistakes. Yeah, so this phase, it spawns with 2 of these spheres that shoot a laser downwards. Only kill the right one. Like if you kill both, they will both respawn and they will move faster. And if you kill them again, they will respawn and move faster. So just leave the left one alive and just stay in the right side. You can like shoot the core and kill this boss phase that way. Or you can just like hang back what I'm doing and collect some more power-ups. Because I'm really close to getting shot level 7. Which I want to achieve. And that's why I'm seemingly idling here. I just need one more, so I guess I'll just try and kill the boss now. And now we get the final phase, which is the most difficult one. And this part just only darts to the side. Yeah, this is probably the hardest attack to dodge. Really unfortunate that I pick up the A weapon when I don't want it. But as long as you have like a good shot level, I dodged the wrong way. The boss goes down really quickly. It's usually like 2 phases and you should have taken care of the boss, which is also the case here. Yeah, so if you really want an easy time with this game, you should be using the all-range weapon a lot more. Even though, to be honest, using the chasers and the laser just feels much nicer. Yeah, overall, pretty decent one. I mean, there were some stupid mistakes, but yeah, it all ended well. And maybe very briefly, like, you know, the first game in the series is kind of okay-ish just to play once or twice. I think the second game is also very worth your time and attention, because it feels very, I know it felt a bit like claustrophobic and very intense. Even the first level in that game is already like really intense and surprisingly difficult, especially when you come from the first game. So I would say definitely check out GG Aleste 2. And this game is also fantastic to play. I, in the end, had a lot of fun going through this game. So I would just recommend anybody picking up M2 Aleste Collection. At some point I also get to the Master System Aleste games, but I want to play some other stuff now. Anyway, I hope some of the tips and strategies I have shown in this run can be of help to anyone. Adios.